So SDR Watch is a tool for looking into the SDR. You can call it with SDR Watch, you give it the SDR name, which is generally ION, and then one of these flags. And then if you want it to run sort of periodically, you can give it an interval, an account. This is sort of like running it under watch, uh, so that you get several snapshots of it. You can do that and pipe the output into a file if you want to have a record of sort of how things are changing with time. And this is just the man page for SDR Watch. I'm going to go in the next slide. I've got some example output from SDR Watch -S and SDR Watch probably SDR Watch -T as well. So we can go through that. SDR Watch -S. So here, this was the command SDR Watch ION -S, and this is giving us here's the SDR overall size. Here's the heap size, the various small and large pools. So we've got a small pool size of 32K. We've got about 1.5K free. The large pool size is something like 40K with 7.5 free, and then we've got a whole bunch of as yet unassigned free space. And then we get information about how much of the SDR heap is in use. The utilities here, there's sort of a couple of different features here. One is, well, you can use this to figure out if you're if somehow you're running out of memory, if you don't give ION enough resources to start with, then you can end up running essentially run this unassigned free down very low, and that's an issue. Another issue is that simply by running SDR Watch, you can figure out if the SDR, if ION is hung in a particular way. As I said before, the transaction mechanism for the SDR means that, well, not even necessarily the transaction mechanism, but ensuring that everything in the SDR is consistent involves mutex so that the modifications into the SDR are single-threaded. So if there's a problem and something has managed to take that mutex and then fall over and die or not give it back, then SDR Watch won't return. And it won't do that because it's going to try to take a mutex to go look in the SDR, and it won't be able to do that if somebody else was holding the mutex and died. That happens more and more rarely as things mature. Occasionally we've found times when various conditions could cause problems, but if that does happen, it's certainly an issue, and it's one that ION really probably isn't going to recover from without shutting it down and starting things back up. We can also look at the statistics report with -Z, talking about, so these are things for the transaction depth and the log sizes. This has to do with how much stuff is sitting essentially in the journal of a transaction. And then again, we've got the SDR size and the large and small, and the same sort of memory information from before. And then we've also broken that out here by available space for inbound data that's headed for a file, inbound data that's bulk, and stuff that's headed for the heap. And again, really the easy utility of this is, if any of these numbers start getting too low, that's an indication that you're running low on resources and need to dig into things further. I think that's it for the slides. I'm going to go and switch over now to probably the base scenario, because it's got an LTP link in it, and I'll just run some of these and we'll run through looking at watch characters and maybe some of the SDR Watch stuff.